in my manifestation journal, I would always say I have a great tenant who pays her rent on time and in full. She takes care of my home. She takes care of the property. She does. I said she because I did, honestly, right? I was like, I want a woman. I want to rent this property to a woman. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, right? It's a man's world. So why not support my fellow double Xers? Welcome back to another episode of Meaningful Conversations. So I'm really making a YouTube video right now. So if you're listening to this audio or if you're watching me, I have been noodling on what is my path forward. And it's just me showing up. It's not even that I got burned out, but it's like I started listening to the noise of social media. And so when you think about like back in the day where they're like, don't listen to the news, don't turn on the TV, don't listen to the radio because these things are programming your subconscious mind. That is the same thing with social media. With my tween a few weeks ago, we watched this documentary called Social Dilemma, and it talked about the social engineering, but it also talked about the addictive behavior, which we all know about this online presence, this online community, and it is impacting our real lives. So my biggest flex is like, yo, I'm really like this online and offline. One of my biggest things is like, yo, I'm really like this. Like I remember somebody saying, "Oh, you're really like I am." And I'm this multifaceted being, and I think that we are being influence. I wrote about this to my Rich Life Collective before, and it was like we are being influenced and encouraged to be homogenous with one another. And if anyone vibrates or moves outside of that scope or those labels or that boxes, it's something wrong with them. They are not what do you say? People are ostracized. They're pushed to the side. They're judged. They're held to a certain, like a witch hunt almost. And when you are mastering yourself, you have to be willing to be hunted. You have to be willing to be hated. You have to be willing to be disliked. You have to be willing. Why am I leading with these negative things? Because these are the things that keep people stuck, stagnant, and limited in their life. This is what keeps people stuck, stagnant, and limited, is because they don't want to open up themselves to receive what it is that they want. They want the goodness, right? They want the goodness of what comes with their desires, but they don't want the challenges or the obstacles that come with their challenges. So I remember there was a time with my Rich Life Collective where I said one of the exercises that I want everybody to do is create their champagne problems. So me living the life that I live, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to get another oil change and it's only been 3 months. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to pay $1,000 for an oil change. I remember when it was just $300. I remember when it was just X amount of dollars. And oh my gosh, I can't believe I got 2 bikes. I need to get another garage built. So when you are creating these problems, that means that you are creating higher level solutions. But the issue is, and this is only for the people who maybe your brain just goes to what can go wrong, because the truth is, if the glass is half full, it is half empty. And when we accept that it's half empty and that it's half full, you can choose to either focus on how full it is or how empty it is. And a lot of the times, a lot of the media, a lot of social media, online, offline, in the world, is geared towards your focus of what if it being half empty. If your cup is half empty, you're looking for ways to fill it, and you're filling it with all these things that maybe don't need to be in your cup, that possibly also already dilutes the fullness of who you are that is in that half of the cup being filled. But if you decide to shift your perspective to half the cup is filled, then you know that anything else that you're pouring into the glass has to complement the liquid that's already in there. So if you have coffee, half coffee in a cup, putting orange juice in there is not going to work. But you may put orange juice in that coffee cup if you're only focused on the cup being half empty. But if you're focused on that cup being half full, you're going to say, let me add some more coffee. Let me add some creamer to this cup. Let me sip this. It will give you a different perspective of how to navigate and move forward. And that's the intention of shifting our mindset. There is no right or wrong to any of this, but it just is. So you're observing something that's like, how do we say? It's like most people are existing, so they're not really living. Because when you're living, you begin to observe and notice your own personal patterns and observe and learn and accept the more of who you are and who you're becoming. But when you're just existing, you're not focused on anything. You're really just trying to make it happen. And so when you're in, okay, I was going to switch, I was going to pivot the topic, but I'll save that for another video, or another episode. So you guys can watch this or on YouTube, or you're listening to it here on Audible. Another thing that I'm working on are my guided meditations, my audio experiences. Please, I invite you into the Rich Life Collective, where I share more of these gems, these love notes straight to your inbox. Join the Rich Life Collective, arichbook.com. So as you continue growing, and I remember, like, before I became a landlord, before I became a real estate investor, I dreamt about it. I was a renter, y'all. And I was like, okay, if my tenant calls me, it's going to be a great experience. I remember I kept always saying, like, in my manifestation journal, I would always say I have a great tenant who pays her rent on time and in full. She takes care of my home. She takes care of the property. She does. I said she, because I did, honestly, right? I was like, I want a woman. I want to rent this property to a woman. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, right? It's a man's world. So why not support my fellow double Xers? And just, oh my gosh, I'm just like bursting with so much stuff to say. But really, if you're having challenges with manifesting, create your own champagne problems. Journal about your champagne problems. Get annoyed with that you have to drive a loaner car for 2 days because they want to keep your car and service it because they're behind on servicing. So now you have to drive another car, and you're like, I don't mind it, but I'd rather drive my own car. Like, because when you're thinking about these champagne problems, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in this new world, in this new reality. And it just places you on that frequency. So this is great. Cheers to our life desires. Thank you for tapping in with me. Welcome back to A Rich Life. I was sharing with my threads community that when I came back on YouTube last year, I started at 70. I had 79 subscribers, but now I'm at 498 subscribers, and I welcome each of you. And I used to think, like, oh my gosh, I got to grow my channel, and I got to do this, and I want to grow, and I want to have these followers, and I want to do this. But really, these are just channels and tools that I leverage to connect with the Aligned Collective. I do not desire to be for everyone. I do not desire fame. I desire impact. I desire impact. That's truly what it is. To teach, to share, to provide new perspectives and deeper insights to those who are aligned to me, to those with whom I resonate with. Those whom I resonate with. Look at me. So yeah. If you're not already on my email list, join the email list, arichbook.com, so you can get these gems straight to your inbox. If you haven't already, download the free guided meditation, I Now Am. Again, arichbook.com. If you're like, I need to talk to somebody and hear that one-on-one perspective specific to what you're navigating in life, schedule that one-to-one session with me, and let's get rocking. I will catch you on the next episode or YouTube check-in of Meaningful Conversations. Peace.